Ok, xin chào mừng tất cả các bạn đến với một trong những lesson siêu mới của chúng ta. Okay, ready? Yes. And our lesson today is Day of the Dead. Okay, okay, Day of the Dead. Okay, Day of the Dead thì thực ra là một cái tên của cái lễ hội. Okay, Day of the Dead. Dịch ra có nghĩa là ngày của cái chết, nhưng mà okay, một cái tên của cái lễ hội rất là đặc biệt ở Guatemala. Guatemala là đất nước ở Trung Mỹ. Okay, các bạn nên tìm hiểu về đất nước Guatemala ở trên mạng nhé. Okay, Day of the Dead. Okay, thì sẽ làm Day of the Dead, cho nên mình sẽ học cái từ Day of the Dead nhé. Okay, Day of the Dead. Okay, Day of the Dead. Cái lễ hội này được tổ chức vào ngày 1 tháng 11 hàng năm. Okay, mình có làm nhé. Day of the Dead. Okay, cái từ Day of the Dead cho nhé. Các bạn làm cái chút không khí ma mị một chút xíu nhé. Okay, Day of the Dead. Okay. Sau ngày Halloween là 31 tháng 10 thì Day of the Dead là ngày 1 tháng 11. Okay, Day of the Dead. Okay, và Guatemala là một đất nước rất đặc biệt ở Trung Mỹ. Okay, một đất nước rất là thú vị ở Trung Mỹ. Day of the Dead. Okay, mình cùng xem câu này nhá. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. I ở đây có nghĩa là thầy Tony nhá. Tony go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Nhưng mà trong câu này là dùng I. Ok, mình cùng học nhá. I, mà các bạn đều bên mình đều là I nhá. Ok,
I go to Guatemala.
I go to Guatemala hình tròn nhá. Ok, Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Tháng 11. Ok, November 1st. Ok, làm nhé. I comes to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, làm nhé. I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, các bạn nói thế là Guatemala. I go to. Okay, I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Tháng 11 và ngày 1 tháng 11 nha. Okay, làm nhé. I go to. Okay, I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, are you ready? Yes. Okay, so now we learn this. Okay, I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, nhanh hơn chút đi, nhanh hơn nhé. Okay, I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, làm lần nữa nhé. Sorry, okay. I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, nhé. Chuẩn bị.
I go to Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st.
Okay, I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, are you ready? Yes. Okay, so now we come to the mini story of the sentence. Mini story, okay. Và trong cái phần mini story này, thầy sẽ làm mấy việc này. Okay. Go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, và các bạn sẽ làm gì? Các bạn sẽ nói, oh, great. Okay. And the second thing, và cái điều số 2 thì mình sẽ làm ấy, is I'll ask you a lot of questions. Thì sẽ hỏi các bạn siêu nhiều câu hỏi. Right? And you need to shout the answer out loud. Right? Và các bạn sẽ phải bật ra câu trả lời thật to, as fast as you can, nhanh nhất có thể. Okay, understand me? Ví dụ thầy hỏi là, so who go to cemetery on Day? Sorry, who go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st? Ai đi đến Guatemala vào ngày Day of the Dead, November 1st? Yeah, Tony, me, right? Tony, he goes to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Okay, hoặc là ví dụ nếu như mà thầy hỏi các bạn câu hỏi yes no. Okay, ví dụ như là does Tony go to Vietnam on Day of the Dead, November 1st? Thì bạn trả lời như nào? Yes, no. Okay, yes là như này. Yes. Okay, các bạn nhớ chưa? Okay, are you ready? Yes. Okay, bắt đầu học nhé. Okay, mình bắt đầu học. I go to Guatemala on Day of the Dead, November 1st. Oh, great. So, who go to Guatemala on date November 1st? Who?
Tony.
Yeah. Who? Yes, me, Tony, right? Tony. He goes to Guatemala on date November 1st. So, does Tony go to Vietnam on date November 1st?
No.
In Vietnam we have no day of the day, right? We have no day of the day. Only in Guatemala. Only in Guatemala. Day of the day is a festival in Guatemala. Ok, Việt Nam thì không có ngày day of the day. Mà chỉ có ở Guatemala là có cái ngày lễ hội đó thôi. Ok, day of the day. So, does Tony go to Guatemala on Tết holiday?
No.
Có phải Tony đến Guatemala vào Tết âm lịch không? No, no. He did not go to Guatemala on Tết holiday, right? He goes to Guatemala on day of the day. Okay, so does Tony go to Guatemala on Christmas?
No.
Christmas? No, no, not Christmas. Not Christmas. Tony did not go to Guatemala on Christmas, right?
Yeah.
He goes to Guatemala
on day of the day.
November 1st. Okay, he goes to the Guatemala on the day of the date. November 1st. Okay, so who goes to Guatemala on the day of the date? November 1st?
Tony.
Who? Yes, Tony goes to Guatemala on the day of the date, November 1st. Oh, hình như bạn đang ngồi luôn. Đúng rồi, okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so does Tony go to Guatemala on day of the day?
Yes.
December 1st.
No.
December 1st. Có phải là Tony đến Guatemala vào ngày day of the day là ngày 1 tháng 12 không? No, not December 1st. He did not go to Guatemala on December 1st. He goes to Guatemala on the day of the day, November 1st. Right? So does Tony go to Guatemala on the day of the date? April 1st. Có phải là ngày 1 tháng 4 không? No. Right? He did not go to Guatemala on the day of the day. April 1st, right? He go to the cemetery, go to the Guatemala on the day of the date. November 1st. Okay. November 1st. So where does Tony go on the day of the date? November 1st. Tony go on
Guatemala.
He go to the Guatemala. He go to Guatemala on the day of the date. November 1st. So does Tony go to American on the day of the day? November 1st. American? No, not American. He did not go to American on the day of the day. November 1st. He goes to London on the day of the day. November 1st. So does Tony come to Guatemala on the day of the day? November 1st.
Yeah.
Yes, great. He goes to Guatemala on the day of the day, November 1st. Okay, so who goes to Guatemala on the day of November 1st? Who?
Tony.
Yes, Tony. He goes to Guatemala on the day of the day, November 1st. So where does Tony go on the day of the day, November 1st? Where? Yeah, in Guatemala, on the day of the day, November 1st. Okay, ready? Yes. Ready? So, who go to Guatemala on the day of the day, November 1st? Who? Tony, me, right? Tony. He goes to the cemetery on the day that he goes to Guatemala on the day of the day, November 1st, right? So, does Tony go to New York on the day of the day, November 1st? No, not New York. He goes to
Guatemala
on the day of the day, November 1st. Right? So, does Tony go to Guatemala on Christmas? No, he did not go to Guatemala on Christmas. He go to Guatemala on
November 1st, the day of the day. November 1st.
Okay, so this is the end of the mini story for this session. Okay, để kết thúc cái phần mini story cho bạn. Ok, bạn nhớ nhá, hãy xem đi lại những lesson của mình ít nhất là 5 times. Okay, listen to this mini story, listen to my lesson again and again, at least 5 times. Okay, this is very important. Okay, thank you very much and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. Xin chào tất cả các bạn đến với lesson tiếp theo của mình. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Các bạn đang yếu như vậy hả? Ai mới làm bé như vậy hả? Hả? Ai mới ngồi hay là đứng cho tôi yếu đuối thế này hả? No. Cảm ơn ạ. Okay. Are you ready?
No.
Yes. Okay, very good. Welcome to our next sentence. Let's see. Oh, curious. We have a new words. Curious. Chúng ta một từ mới này. New curious. Very curious. 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 Yes. Right. Mình làm gần curious như này kiểu là rất là nhiều dấu hỏi không có như cái. Ok. Curious. Curious. Các bạn cùng làm cái này nhá. Nó gõ vào trong đầu. Cái một dấu hỏi đây là trên đầu mình. Curious. Curious. À, làm như này nhé. Ok.
Curious.
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 Curious. Okay, one, two, three, go. Curious. Okay, to hơn nữa nào. One, two, three, go. Curious. Okay, tiếp tục làm lần nữa nhá. One, two, three, go. Curious. Okay, to nữa nào. Curious. Yes, very curious. Okay. Holiday. Holiday. Đây là một lễ hội. Okay. Holiday mình làm tác như này nhé. Kiểu đang nhảy nữa. Okay. Holiday.
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 One, two, three, go. Holiday.
Holiday.
Curious.
Holiday.
Holiday. Okay.
Holiday.
Lễ hội ví dụ như là holiday, Tết holiday cũng là một dạng lễ hội kỳ nghỉ Tết holiday, hoặc là một cái Christmas, Giáng sinh thì cũng là một dạng holiday. Holiday lễ hội với kỳ nghỉ hoặc là cái dịp, holiday. Okay.
Holiday.
Holiday kiểu như kỳ nghỉ hè ấy, đúng không các bạn? Là một dạng holiday. Okay. Holiday, Tết holiday, Christmas holiday, summer holiday, or day of the dead holiday. Okay. Okay. Holiday. Okay, mình học câu này nhá. Okay. Is mean I-am. Okay. Curious about this holiday. Okay. Curious about this holiday. Tức là thầy tôi nghĩ rất là tò mò về cái lễ hội này. I'm curious about this holiday. Okay, mình học câu này với thầy nhá.
I'm curious about this holiday.
Okay, I'm curious about this holiday. Okay, to nữa nào.
I'm
Curious about this holiday. Okay, I'm curious about this holiday. Okay, bây giờ đọc như thế các bạn đọc thì sẽ được mình sẽ đọc siêu đỉnh nhé. Okay.
I'm curious about this holiday.
Okay, I'm curious about this holiday. Okay, lại nhé.
I'm curious about
Curious.
about this
About this
holiday.
holiday. Okay, I'm curious about this holiday. Okay, các bạn coi. I'm curious about this holiday. Okay, very good. Okay, so now we come to the mini story, right? The mini story now. In this mini story, I will do two things, right? The first thing I'll make a statement. And make the statement, I will read the sentence. Cái video đầu tiên tôi sẽ làm thầy sẽ đọc cái câu này. Okay. I'll make a statement, and you need to say it. Oh, right. Oh, right. And the second thing, always I'll ask your loud questions, right? And you need to shout the answer out loud. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'm curious about this holiday.
Ooh.
Right, so who curious about this holiday?
Tony.
Yeah, me, Tony, right? I'm rất là tò mò về cái lễ hội, về cái chương trình này. Yeah, me, Tony. I'm curious about this holiday. So who curious about this holiday? Who's very curious about this holiday? Yes, Tony, me, Tony. Tony's very curious about this holiday. So is Tony curious about Tết holiday? Cái anh chàng Tony này có rất là tò mò về cái lễ hội Tết âm lịch của người Việt Nam không? No, maybe no, vậy là không phải anh ta đến từ Việt Nam. Anh ta không tò mò này. No, lại nhé. So, is Tony curious about Tết holiday of Vietnam?
No.
No, not. He do not curious about Tết holiday of Vietnam. He is curious about Day of the Dead. The holiday of Wonderland. The holiday of Wonderland Street. It's a Day of the Dead holiday. Okay. So who is curious about this holiday? Who is curious about this holiday?
Tony.
Yes, Tony. Me. Right? Tony is very curious about this holiday. So Am I có phải thầy, có phải tớ, có phải tôi. Okay. Am I curious about Christmas? Thì tôi nghĩ có tò mò về Giáng sinh.
No.
No, he is not curious about Christmas. I'm not curious about Christmas. I am curious about
This
Day
holiday.
of the Dead. Okay, about this holiday. Want to learn about Day of the Dead. So, what is Tony curious about? What
The
is
Day
Tony
of the
curious
Dead.
about? Thế anh chàng Tony anh curious về cái vấn đề gì nhỉ? He is curious about
The day of the dead.
Day of the Dead. Alright, he's curious about the Day of the Dead holiday. He's curious about the holiday of Wonderland Day of the Dead on November 1st. Right, so where does Tony go on Day of the Dead, November 1st? Where do you go on Day of the Dead, November 1st? Yeah, he goes to Wonderland on Day of the Dead, November 1st, and he's very curious about this holiday. So, is Tony curious about his girlfriend?
No.
Anh Tony có tò mò về bạn gái của anh ta không? Yes, maybe. Yeah, có thể là okay. Maybe yes or no is okay. Okay. Yes, no cũng được. Okay. Yes, okay. Yes, okay. Yes. He's also very curious about his girlfriends, but he is curious about Day of the Dead, November 1st. So, when is the Day of the Dead? When? Khi nào? Cái lễ hội Day of the Dead thì là ngày nào nhỉ? November 1st. Okay, November 1st. The Day of the Dead is on November 1st. And Tony is very curious about this holiday, about this festival. He's curious about the Day of the Dead, November 1st. So, where is the Day of the Dead holiday?
November 1st.
Thế cái lễ hội đó, cái lễ hội đó tổ chức ở đâu? Yeah, in Wonderland. Wonderland. The Day of the Dead is in Wonderland, and it's on November 1st. November 1st in Wonderland on November 1st. So, when is the Day of the Dead?
November 1st.
Yeah, November 1st.
First.
Yes, this is on November 1st. So,
Yeah.
who go to Wonderland on Day of the Dead, November 1st? Who?
Tony.
Yes, Tony. Tony, he goes to Wonderland
on Day of the Dead, November 1st.
And who is curious about this holiday?
Tony.
Yes, Tony, me, right? Tony is also curious about this holiday. He's curious, he asks a lot of questions. He's wondering about this holiday. What's Day of the Dead? What's people going to do in Day of the Dead? Okay, rất là tò mò, anh hỏi rất là nhiều câu hỏi đó. Day of the Dead là cái gì nhỉ? Cái người rất là nhiều người Day of the Dead. Okay, he's very curious, rất là tò mò. He's very curious about the Day of the Dead. Okay, so who is very curious about the Day of the Dead?
Tony.
Tony, right? Me, Tony. Tony's very curious about the Day of the Dead. So, am I curious about the Day of the Dead, November 1st? Thế có phải thầy curious about the Day of the Dead, November 1st không? Yes, okay.
Yes.
I am curious about the Day of the Dead, November 1st. Oh, he is, Tony, right? Tony's very curious. He's curious about the Day of the Dead,
November 1st.
Okay, so this is the end of the mini story for this sentence. Okay, let's get to the mini story tomorrow. Okay, I want you to listen to this mini story again and again and again. Okay, listen to this again and again and again. This is very important. Very important. Okay, thank you very much and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes. Cemetery có nghĩa là nghĩa trang. Xin chào tất cả các bạn đến với câu chuyện nào. Okay, welcome to our next lesson. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's see. I go to the cemetery to see what's happening. Okay. Cemetery có nghĩa là nghĩa trang. Okay.
Nghĩa trang.
Làm từ cemetery nhé. Cemetery mình sẽ học như thế này. Để làm này nhé. Rồi, sắp đến. Okay. Cemetery. Đúng rồi.
Cemetery.
Okay. Cemetery.
Cemetery.
Okay, here we go.
Cemetery.
Cemetery. Okay. So I go to the cemetery to see what's happening. Okay. Bởi vì là thầy Tony rất là tò mò về cái lễ hội này, cho nên thầy Tony mới quyết định là đi đến cái nghĩa trang này đấy. Người ta tổ chức ở nghĩa trang để xem là cái chuyện gì ở đấy, cái chuyện gì xảy ra ở đấy. Okay. Thì lễ hội nó như thế nào ở đấy? Okay. Là cái kỳ holiday nó như thế nào? Okay. Okay. I go to the cemetery to see what's happening. Okay. What's happening? What is happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening trước nhé? What's happening? Chưa biết đâu. What's happening? To see
What's
The cemetery. Okay. The cemetery.
Cemetery.
I go to
I go to the cemetery to see what's happening.
What's happening? Okay, lại nhé.
I go to the cemetery. I go to
the cemetery to see
what's happening.
Okay. Okay. So I go to cemetery to see what's happening. Okay. Và vì thế là thì tôi đi với quyết định là gì? Là đi nghĩa trang để xem cái điều gì nó diễn ra này. Okay. So I go to cemetery to see what's happening. Okay. So ready? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I go to the cemetery to see what's happening.
I go to the cemetery to see what's happening. Okay. Ready? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So now we come to the mini story. And in this mini story, I will do two things. Right? Mini story. Okay. Two things. Right. The first thing I'll make the statement. I read the sentence. This cái câu đầu tiên họ các bạn sẽ làm gì? You will say, oh, right. And the second thing I'll do is I'll ask you a lot of questions. Và cái thứ hai thì mình sẽ hỏi là cái ask you thì hỏi bạn rất là nhiều câu hỏi, right? And you need to shout the answer out loud. Và sẽ bắt đầu câu trả lời thật to. Okay, fast again. Nhanh nhất rồi. Okay, and ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I go to the cemetery to see what's happening.
Oh.
Okay, I go to the cemetery to see what's happening.
Oh.
Right, so who go to the cemetery to see what's
Tony.
happening? Who? Yes. Tony, right? Tony goes to the cemetery to see what's happening. So, does Tony go to the museum
No.
to see what's happening? No, not the museum, right? The dead is not in the museum, okay? Không phải là bảo tàng, right? Bởi vì là Day of the Dead thì không tổ chức ở bảo tàng, right? So, does Tony go to the park to see what's happening? The park. Phải Tony đến công viên không? No, he didn't go to the park because the Day of the Dead is not in the park. Wait, this holiday is not in the park. The holiday is
In the cemetery.
In the cemetery. Trong nghĩa trang, but not in the park. Không phải trong công viên, cũng not in the museum. Không phải trong bảo tàng. So, does Tony go to the school to see what's happening?
No.
School. No, not the school. He did not go to the school. Tony, he did not go to school to see what's happening. He
goes to the cemetery. Cemetery.
So he goes to the cemetery to see what's happening. Okay, so who goes to the cemetery?
Tony.
Who goes to the cemetery?
Tony.
Yes, Tony. Tony, he goes to the cemetery. To see what's happening. So does Tony go to the cemetery or does Tony go to the school? Thế Tony đến cemetery hay Tony đến chùa?
Cemetery.
Does Tony go to the cemetery? Right? Or does Tony go to the school? Cemetery or the school? Cemetery or the school? Tony đến cemetery đến cái nghĩa trang đó hay là anh đến chùa? Cemetery or the school? Yes, he go to the cemetery. He go to the cemetery. Okay, so who go to the cemetery?
Tony.
Yes, Tony, right? Tony. He goes to the cemetery to see what's happening. He goes to the cemetery to see what's happening. So, does Tony go to the cemetery or does Tony go to the toilet? Cemetery or the toilet?
Cemetery.
Yeah, cemetery, right? Does Tony go to the cemetery or does Tony go to the toilet? Cemetery or the
Cemetery.
toilet? Yes, cemetery. Tony, he comes to the cemetery. He goes to the cemetery to see what's happening. So why does Tony come to the cemetery? Why does Tony go to the cemetery? Right? Why did he come? Why did he go to the cemetery? Yes, to see what's happening. He goes to the cemetery. He comes to the cemetery to see what's happening. Okay, so who goes to the cemetery? Who?
Tony.
Yes, Tony. So does Tony go to the cemetery or does Tony go to the stadium? Tony đến cemetery hay Tony đến sân vận động? Cemetery or the stadium? Cemetery or the stadium?
Cemetery.
Yes, cemetery, right? Tony, he goes to the cemetery to see what's happening. Okay, so why does Tony come to the cemetery? Why does Tony go to the cemetery?
Because he wants to see what's
happening.
happening.
Why? Yeah, to see what's happening. Because he wants to see what's happening. So that why he go to the
cemetery.
Cemetery, right? He goes to the cemetery. He goes to the cemetery. He comes to the cemetery to see what's happening. So does Tony come to the school to see what's happening on the day of the holiday?
No.
No, it is not in school. Day of the Dead is not in the school. He comes to the cemetery to see what's happening in the day of the Dead because the day is on the cemetery. So when does Tony go to the cemetery to see what's happening? When
The
this Tony
day
comes
of
to
the
cemetery,
day.
when this Tony go to
The day
cemetery
of the
to see
day.
what's happening. When? Yes, on
The day.
November 1st.
November
Okay, on the
1st.
day of the day on November 1st. On the day of the day. On November 1st. Tony he go to the cemetery to see what's happening. Okay, so when is the cemetery does Tony go to on the day of November 1st?
Watermelon.
Cemetery, I don't know. Yes, it's in. The cemetery is in Watermelon. This is in Watermelon. The cemetery in Watermelon. Tony he goes to the cemetery of Watermelon to see what's happening. Okay, to see what's happening. So does Tony come to the cemetery to see his girlfriend? Why Tony didn't get cemetery? No, not his girlfriend. Tony come to the cemetery to see what's happening. I need to listen to this story again and again and again and again. Alright. Okay, I'm going to come. Okay, ready? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's count our next sentence. Let's see. Well, fine. It's quite interesting. Okay. Cái gì mà tôi tìm thấy cái gì mà nhận ra thì tôi tìm thấy nó khá là thú vị. Okay. Mình cùng vào cùng nhé. Well, fine. Quite interesting. Okay. Well, fine.
What I find.
What I find. Okay.
What I find.
What I find. Okay. What I find.
What I find.
What I find.
What I find.
Đứng dậy cô nào đi. What I find.
What I find.
What I find. Đọc nó lại rồi. Mình soi kính nút. Ok, cái thứ mà tôi tìm thấy. Okay. What I find. What I find. Okay. What I find. What I find. What I find. Okay. What I find. What I find. What I find. What I find. Okay. What I find. Quite. Quite is okay. It's quite. Quite. It's quite. It's quite. Interesting. It's quite interesting. Okay. What I find is quite interesting. Okay. What I find is quite interesting. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. What I find is quite interesting. Okay. What I find is quite interesting. What I find is quite interesting. What I find is quite interesting. Okay. Gì mà tìm kiếm, gì mà tìm thấy ở cái nghĩa trang đó. Okay. Day of the dead thì nó rất là khá là thú vị. Khá là thú vị. 1, 2, 3, go.
What I find is quite interesting.
It's quite interesting. Okay. What I find is quite interesting. Quite. Okay. Lại từng cụm từ một.
What I find quite.
It's quite interesting.
Interesting.
It's quite.
What
I
I
find
find
interesting.
what
What I find
it's
quite
interesting.
interesting. What I find is quite interesting. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, so what I find is quite interesting. Okay. What I find is quite interesting. Okay, so now we come to the mini story of the sentence. Okay? In this mini story, I will ask you a lot of questions. You need to shout the answer out loud. Right? When the answer is yes, then you say yes. When the answer is no, you say no. Okay, this is very important. Very important. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so what I find is quite interesting. Yes, so what is quite interesting? What is it actually? Yeah, the day of
The day.
Right. The day of the day in the cemetery is quite interesting. So who felt the day of the day in the cemetery is quite interesting?
Tony.
Ai cảm thấy là the day of the day cái đấy là the day of the dead ở trong nghĩa trang thì nó rất khá thú vị. Ai cảm thấy vậy? Yes, Tony. Right. Tony felt that the cemetery is quite interesting. He said that, what I find quite interesting. So that's what Tony find is quite boring.
No.
Cái điều gì mà diễn ra ở trong cái cemetery ở trong nghĩa trang đó thì rất là boring, rất là buồn chán không? No, it's not. It's not boring, right? The cemetery is not boring in the day of the dead, right?
Yeah.
The dead is not boring. The dead is quite interesting. So how does Tony think, or how does he feel about the day of the dead?
Quite interesting.
How does he feel about the day of the dead? How
Quite
does he
interesting.
think about the day of the dead? Tôi cảm thấy thế nào? Cảm nhận rằng, suy nghĩ thế nào về cái lễ hội the day of the dead? Yeah. What if I is quite interesting, right? It's quite interesting. So what is quite interesting? What? Yeah.
What I
the
find.
Day of the day. The day of the day in the cemetery. Okay. So that's what Tony find about the day of the dead in cemetery is quite somber.
No.
Somber.
No.
Somber. It means not fun. It's opposite of interesting. It's opposite of fun. It means ủ rũ hoặc kiểu như là boring nữa. Ủ rũ buồn nhạt, buồn tẻ nhạt. Kiểu là ủ rũ nó somber. Okay. So the cemetery somewhere on the day of the day?
No.
No, it's not somewhere. It's quite
Interesting.
It's quite interesting. So, who felt that the cemetery quite interesting?
Tony.
Who? Yes, Tony. Tony is felt that. Oh, the cemetery on the day of the day is quite interesting. The cemetery is quite interesting. Okay, so when is the day of the dead? Right?
Quite
Do you put
interesting.
it on, right? It's on November 1st.
November 1st.
On November 1st. On November 1st. So when is the day of the dead? Right? Yeah, it's
November 1st.
In one time. On the day of the
On the day of
dead.
the
In one
dead.
time. On the day of the dead. Tony, his career is about this holiday. So that's why he go to the cemetery to see what's happening. And when he's fine, it's quite interesting. Như thế là tò mò về cái chuyện lễ hội cái ngày mà nói cho người ta đến cái nghĩa trang quan trọng này để xem là có cái điều gì là cái ngày day of the dead đó và tất cả những gì anh ta thực hiện rất là khá là thú vị. But it's fine, it's quite interesting. Okay, so this is the end of the news story for this one. Okay, I want you to listen to this news story again and again.
Now for the say. The day of the dead. I go to Guatemala on the day of the dead, November 1st. I am curious about this holiday. I go to cemetery to see what's happening. What I find is quite interesting.